Welcome to the highlights of the first day's play of this test match between Australia and South Africa at the SCG. The first good news is that it's a lovely fine day. Temperature around about 28 degrees, just a few flecks of cloud around and a big crowd coming in, and gone is the frustration of the MCG in that opening test match where hardly any play was possible. Well, the toss went South Africa's way today, and the pitch looked very, very good, according to Tony Greig. These are the teams nominated by the two captains. For Australia, Paul Rifle has gone to 12th man, and Glenn McGrath has come into the side. Border, Taylor, Slater, Boone, Mark Waugh, Damien Martin, then Healy, Warren, McDermott, May, and the pace bowler, Glenn McGrath. South Africa have resisted the temptation to play Brian McMillan. He failed a fitness test, or perhaps he didn't quite get through it as they wished, and he may well be available for the Adelaide Test match, but not for this one, and that is the same side they nominated for the test down in Melbourne, with Richard Snell as 12th man. So very good conditions here, and we join play now in the second over. McGrath is the bowler. He's coming into bowler Kirsten. No runs on the board at the moment. Tony Greig is your commentator, and alongside him is Bill Laurie.
There's it. That's exactly what Border wants him to do. That's a good length delivery, and just a little bit of movement in the direction of the slip cordon, and well played.
This was almost 4 runs. It was beautifully saved there by Mark Waugh, diving away to his left. So his Border's closed up that gap between the fine gully and the second slip.
Oh, there's a big appeal. That's got to be close. That one just straightened down the line. Kirsten's not looking. Well, that was so close, just held up a little bit.
Just looked a bit high. We'll have a look on replay. Simply seem to have him in front. Let's have a look at the height. There it comes. Very, very close.
I'll tell you what, Bill, I reckon Kirsten can thank his lucky stars, and have a look at the reaction of McGrath there. It looked to me as if he was going to knock middle stump out the ground.
Yes.
Kirsten reckons the other side, the other end's the place to be, I think.
As he knew it was close, he didn't look at the umpire. He looked away quickly to square leg. It was good to deliver because it held its line.
So now it's Hudson's turn to face the music. He's a right-hander. This will help the South Africans just a little bit if they can keep rotating the strike. Left-hander 1 minute, right-hander the next. Makes the bowler change his line. Oh, get a big appeal for LBW. Got him! He's out, LBW! McGrath has struck at his first over, and this is home ground. That one nipping back a little bit. Hudson, who normally plays back just outside leg stump, across in front of the line. Didn't look too happy, Hudson. It'll be interesting to see whether this one is going to slip down the leg side. Let's have another look.
The reaction was, I think he thought he might have hit it. Let's have a look at this one. It pitches. Well, that one was high, wasn't it, compared with the other one? Bill Sheen judges him out, so it's a great breakthrough. A good line bowling by McGrath, and a bad start for South Africa. Hudson out for a duck. It's 1 for 1.
Hansie Cronje is the new batsman. He's a very important player in this side. He's out in the centre now as a result of that Hudson LBW. So he's over the wicket, this time to Hansie Cronje. One down the leg side. I think that may have been thigh pad. It was gone for 4 very quickly. And so leg by signalled by the umpire there. Just a little nick on the thigh pad there. Those thigh pads are quite hard, so very often they sound a little clicky.
3 slips in a gully, less likely that those edges will go in that direction if McGrath's moving the ball in towards Cronje.
Oh, I tell you what, Bill Laurie was telling me there was no bounce out there. Have a look at this one for a bit of bounce.
Yes, Glenn McGrath would be liking to mix his deliveries up. A few off-cutters, get the batsman thinking about that. Then the leg cutter going away.
Oh, he's flayed that one over the top. Went flying over the top of gully and down to the fence. No hand on that one. 8 runs off the over, 1 for 38.
Shane Warne has been introduced into the attack.
Oh, and again, that one a leg spinner, spinning just a little further that time. So what he's doing at the moment is varying the spin. Watch this one turn.
That one drifts away a great deal, which indicates that he's put a lot more spin on it. He actually tried to spin it more, and it really has come back.
So Shane Warne becoming, well, not exactly downwind. Certainly he's coming from the end that the fast bowlers chose. And right out of character, Gary Kirsten using his feet, deciding to attack the leg spinner.
It's a good shot of full delivery, and that's what they must do to Shane Warne, who once again is bowling the perfect length. Kirsten was to do that on the full and got 4 valuable runs. It's 1 for 50.
That's a lovely shot. He uses his feet well and picks the gap to bring up the 50 partnership.
A fine player, Angie Cronje. He's fearless, he's prepared to play his pull shots, his drives, and the use of the feet here is immaculate.
Crowd certainly getting very involved here. They gave a great cheer when Shane Warne was introduced into the attack, and everything that looks like flying to the close-in fieldsman, they're up and shouting. You're always frightened stiff the umpire was going to give you out on the crowd shout. Shouts of catch it there, but sounded like he might have banged his bat up against his boot, I think.
Very interesting that Mark Waugh was unmoved there at Sumi Point.
30 to Kirsten, 23 to Cronje. 1 for 63. It's been an absorbing battle, particularly the last half an hour, where the batting has got more aggressive.
Well, that's unbelievable. Ball can spin that far in the first morning of a test match. It really is turning. I mean, not too many bowlers in the world can do this. And that doesn't make you enjoy your lunch. It pitches and it's spun almost square. That's unbelievable.
Here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the ladies' stand just coming to view there, the member stand, the Noble stand and the Bradman stand at the far end. And at that end, Tim May continuing round the wicket to Kirsten. Plays that shot well too. Oh, that's a good shot. And this is what he's so good at. That's why Border's got the fieldsman back there. Cronje loves every now and again just getting down the wicket a bit and lofting it down the ground. Oh, he's gone for that one over mid-wicket. So he's getting quite aggressive. Just outside off stump, into the fence it goes. So 9 runs from that over. It's 1 for 75. This is McDermott again. Oh, well bowled. He didn't really know where that one was. Just thick inside edge and down onto the ground there. It wasn't anywhere near the stumps.
Whistle Cronje off the off spinner. Gary Kirsten's played a couple of cuts and tried to play some pull shots, but very steady.
In the air, and the Aussies have dropped one. Well, Mark Waugh has dropped the catch. And no ball was called anyhow. Well, no wonder. No wonder he dropped it.
Doesn't normally miss those when it's wide. It's a very wide delivery. It goes very quick. Gets through Mark Waugh too fast, I think. It sort of hits him in the midriff with not a lot of the hands in it. Very steady, very solid. And now he's got to go on and make the most of his opportunities.
Oh, and that's in the air and just short of Waugh there. Well, why didn't he dive for that one? McDermott having a look around, very puzzled, almost glaring at Waugh.
Generally, the fielding captain is not unhappy when his fast bowler's angry.
Depends partly on whether or not the fast bowler's angry with him, I suppose.
A slip and a gully on the offside, Border in the leg gully position, and Boone has been dropped back to a deep square leg. Cronje has been keen to play the hook shot. And well caught in the gully. Brilliant catch this time by Mark Waugh. McDermott coming around the wicket, has got the right angle, and Mark Waugh has done the job.
And McDermott might just have said to him, "See, I knew you could do it." Oh, that's a good catch. That has gone at terrific pace. No better fielder and catcher in the world than Mark Waugh. That went at a terrific bat. 2 for 91. Hansi Cronje gone for a very well-made 41.
Farrell Cullinan, who got a first ball duck at the MCG, and on that occasion the bowler was Craig McDermott. Guess who he's going to be facing first up here at the SCG?
Well, he's not off the mark, because that is going to be signalled by umpire Steve Randall as a bye.
With Shane Warne being called back into the attack. Warne coming on at the Randwick end. And he didn't wait long, and Cullinan is straight onto it.
Well, that looked to me to be the one Warne shows them. You could almost pick that from up here. There it is, just pulled straight down, and Cullinan was onto it.
The South Africans rate Cullinan very highly. They say he's a good stroke maker. Once again, the ball just slightly short, and Cullinan very quickly onto it, showing plenty of confidence so far in this innings. Flipper, and he's got him again with it. So he's pulled 1 for 4, but missed the second one.
And I think you can guarantee that Shane Warne has outthought him there. Show him the obvious flipper, let him pull it for 4, and then slip the other one in, and it was through him. It was candy from kids. Beautifully bowled, and nothing like that first flipper. Very well done by Shane Warne, and the Australians have struck again. Cullinan has gone. He's seen 1 flipper so far. He made 9, and it's 3 for 110.
As the new batsman, Johnny Rhodes, comes to the crease, who played fairly well in Melbourne, struggled early for some touch at the end, played quite nicely, but at 3 for 110, South Africa just in a bit of a hole here. Shane Warne to Johnny Rhodes, right on line, but he gets a single, just works it past the slip cordon. Warne once again bowling beautifully. He's a joy to watch. Still on 49.
And when Shane Warne pitches very wide of off stump, it's certainly turning a long way. That last ball pitching, let's have a look, probably only 30 centimetres or so inside the return crease.
That's 50 for Gary Kirsten. That's well played. Hasn't been in great form so far on his tour. 16 in the first test. He's fought very hard. Good team play. Whipper, close, got in. Yes, beautifully bowled. You can see it out of the fingers. Johnny Rhodes wasn't quick enough to get down. Superb bowling by Shane Warne. The flipper is a lethal weapon here at Pacific Cricket Ground.
Well, strike 2 for the flipper. That's a lovely delivery. Just beats Rhodes through the air. That's where the spinners have got to do it, through the air. Bill Sheen decides it's hitting leg stump, and South Africa lose their 4th wicket, that of Johnny Rhodes. South Africa now 4 for 133.
Keppel versus a new batsman at the non-strikers end. The ground a buzz here in Sydney as Tony Greig and Greg Chappell takes up the commentary.
The thing about Shane Warne is that he's always working on different deliveries. There's quite a few tricks in his bag. He's created problems for all Test batsmen through the last couple of seasons. And there's a stumping. He's got him. It's a good bit of work from Ian Healy. Kirsten got himself into a mess again. It was either the flipper or the top spinner pushed through very quickly outside off stump. Kirsten looking to go down the wicket, found himself in a mess, twisted his ankle, and has the indignity now of limping off the ground.
Huge mess. Look at him here, out of his ground, and that's all over. Tries to get back, doesn't make it, and that's the end of the section. What a huge blow that is, and didn't Warne and Healy love that one. So, Gary Kirsten out for 67, and South Africa slumped to 5 for 134.
David Richardson is the new South African batsman to the crease. Right-hand batsman, 34 years of age. This is the wrong, and it's a full toss. Richardson has no trouble with that. The tail enders have really got the pressure on them now. Shane Warne is hot. He's taken 3 for 41 so far in the innings. Concourse area of the Brawongle stand and the Clive Churchill stand. So some beautiful areas here around the Sydney Cricket Ground. That's a good catch. Mark Taylor moving away to his left hand. Shane Warne gets the outside edge of David Richardson's hand. A great reflex catch there from Mark Taylor. Another crowd delighted with that.
That was an absolute beauty, and have a look at them in the terraces. Out went his hand, it's stuck in his fingers. He is a magnificent slips fieldsman. They're all out there having a look at it. Just look at this one go. It went down and it went to his left. Out comes the fingers, and boy, what a little snaffle that was. That's brought another smile to Warren's face. And Dave Richardson, the victim there, out for 4. Caught it slip by Taylor. Magnificent catch, 6 for 141.
Pat Simcox is the new batsman. Shane Warne is the bowler.
Doesn't waste any time, gets through his overs nice and quickly.
It's the wrong one. Full toss, he's hit it straight back to him. And there's his 5th wicket in the innings. Kepler's not going. Yes, he is. Umpire Bill Sheehan raises the finger. Tossed up the wrong one. Kepler Wessels perhaps a little bit handicapped by his sore knee. Didn't get down the wicket very well to it. Got it on the full and slapped it straight back. And that's the 4th time in Test cricket that Shane Warne has taken 5 wickets in the innings.
Yes, well, I wouldn't have walked for this too. He's got every right to stay there and wait for the umpire's decision. Let's have a look at one. Dipped on him, hit the full toss. Back she goes, caught it inches above the ground. No doubt about the catch. Kepler pauses there, and Warne holding that one up in the air. The umpire there very quick to move into the action, Bill Sheehan. And so Kepler Wessels out for 3, caught and bowled. And South Africa in a huge hole here, 7 for 142.
7 for 142. Craig Matthews, the new batsman, or is it the new victim?
Just got him, caught slip, another one to Taylor. It turned sharply, he was playing it away, would you believe it, to mid-wicket, hit the edge, went flying to Taylor, no trouble at all, snaffled it slip, and the South Africans deeper in trouble. 7 down now for 142.
Beautiful piece of bowling. Crane Warne threw that one up further. There was a nice swoop there, enticed him forward. It drifts towards leg stump. There's a bit of a puff of dust there as it hits the outside edge. Taylor takes the straightforward catch, and Shane Warne, with 6 wickets, really destroying South Africa here. A tremendous individual performance. That's 8 for 142.
Petrus Stephanus de Villiers. In the commentary box, it's going to be Ian Chappell and Richie Bennett.
Thanks, Tony. It was a full toss. And shouts from the Australians there as they thought that David Boone might grab that one. He's bowled him around the legs once again. And that's Shane Warne's best bowling in Test cricket.
That is magnificent, because he set Simcox up for this. And Simcox even had a bit of a chip at him earlier in the over. No great verbals, but Warne was trying to bowl him behind his pads. He has done precisely that. Simcox, I promise you can't believe it, Warne tried to bowl him behind his pads and it came off. That is brilliant. Out for 7, 9 for 152.
Alan Donald isn't going to be thrilled about the fact that he's in batting not long after tea on the first day.
Craig McDermott, the bowler. Taking a strike is Fani de Villiers.
And Mark Waugh. He put one down off a no ball, but that might be the only one you see him put down for some time. Craig McDermott deservedly picks up his 2nd wicket. But Shane Warne, the man who's done so much damage, 7 for 56, his best ever, his 2nd best ever effort in Test cricket. And that's how McDermott finished off the innings. So the Australians can be absolutely delighted getting South Africa out for 169 after at one stage they were 1 for 91. And Shane Warne will get a magnificent hand as he leaves the SCG.
That's a brilliant performance from the Australians. 169 all out, after at one stage the South Africans were absolutely steaming along. Kirsten made 67 and played very well. There's not much about him as regards style, but he's got a lot of heart and played a good innings out there. Hansie Cronje 41. The rest just fell apart. Fanny de Villiers made 18 towards the end, but the damage had been done by then. 169 from 74.1 overs, and the story of all that is told in the Australian bowling figures. Shane Warne, 27 overs, 8 maidens, and 7 for 56. McDermott, I thought, bowled very well once again today. Looks as though he's hitting real form now. 2 for 42 from 18.1. McGrath 1 for 32, and Tim May was the fourth bowler used. No wicket for 34. Shane Warne, well, at one stage he had none for 28 from 11.5 overs. Finished up with 7 for 56 from 27, and he took 7 for 28 in all in the space of 92 balls. Well, that was a terrific performance from Alan Border and his men, and we join the Australian reply now in the fourth over. Fanny de Villiers is the bowler. Mark Taylor has taken strike. He's made 3. Your commentators, Greg Chappell and Geoffrey Lawson.
169, the total South Africa managed in their first innings, as Mark Taylor again just turns it away on the leg side. He'll look for 2 and have no trouble getting them.
Not exactly ideal conditions for swinging the ball at present.
Not too much defence down the ground there for de Villiers when he pitches it up. Taylor really just leaning on that one. Didn't have any trouble in picking up 2 runs. So Australia move along quite comfortably, none for 9. Alan Donald will continue from the member stand end.
Big appeal is gone. Well, he's got that one straight enough, all right. Just a thin edge from Mark Taylor. And Donald strikes.
It was a very good piece of bowling by Alan Donald. Much better length. There was a couple of occasions in Melbourne where I thought that he was bowling just a bit too short, but on this occasion has Mark Taylor caught between front foot and the back foot. He wasn't quite sure where to go, but he knows where to go now. Alan Donald, very happy man, picks up the first wicket for South Africa. Mark Taylor is out for 7. Australia 1 for 10. The very reliable David Boone batting at 3 for Australia.
Goes, beats the man anyway. That's 4. I think they've got a plan here. They're going to try and catch him at third man, but have to be a bit unlucky.
Just the one setback there for the Australians. Mark Taylor caught by Richardson of Alan Donald from that very good delivery from the South African fast bowler. Out for 7, Slater on 5 and Boone on 7, and they had a bit of a torrid time towards the end. They're great fighters, these South Africans. 1 for 20 and 12 overs gone. The bowling figures for South Africa: Donald 1 for 10, de Villiers no wicket for 9, Matthews no wicket for 1, and bowled 3 good overs, and he bowled very well down in Melbourne also. Well, a great day here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Lovely weather, a super match, and 32,000 people in, absolutely thrilled by the performance of Shane Warne, and I suspect millions of television viewers also. For the moment, from the SCG, it's goodbye. Welcome to the highlights of the second day's play of this Australia-South Africa Test match at the SCG. A brilliant first day where Shane Warne was the dominant factor, and this is the way the South African card looked when they were dismissed. 169 all out, with just the 3 double-figure scores. Kirsten made 67, Hansie Cronje 41, and Fanny de Villiers 18. 169 all out, and the bowling figures for the Australians: a terrific effort from Shane Warne. 27 overs, 8 maidens, 7 for 56. McDermott took 2 for 42, and McGrath 1 for 32. Now, in reply, the Australians, at the close of play yesterday, they'd moved along, well, not quite smoothly, but well enough to 1 for 20. They lost Taylor for 7. The not-out batsmen were Slater on 5 and Boone on 7. Good conditions again for this second day's play. Very sultry, and it was going to be hot, so it'd be better to be batting than to be bowling. We join play now in the fourth over. 12 runs have been added. Craig Matthews is the bowler. Michael Slater is taking strike. Your commentators are Bill Laurie and Geoffrey Lawson.
Well cut, beautiful shot. Some width from Matthews, and Slater a fine cutter.
And as they say, you can't set fields to bad bowling. It's a long hop outside off stump. And Michael Slater doesn't miss.
It's a good positive start by Michael Slater this morning. He was a little bit scratchy last night.
That's a pretty useful delivery from Craig Matthews.
Oh, how did that miss? Dear, oh dear. I'm not sure that was pad or bat. It must have missed the off stump or the stumps by a coat of varnish.
Craig Matthews had bowled a bouncing leg cutter earlier on in the over that Michael Slater played and missed at. That's gone over the top of off by the looks of it. Dave Richardson gets a late look at it because the batsman's in the way. It's over the top of middle and it swings as it goes past the stumps.
Simon O'Donnell and Tony Greig takes up the commentary.
So we're going to see a bit of South African spin now. Pat Simcox. So that brings up the 50 for Australia. This is the 21st over. And that's a full toss. Smashed through the offside field. A loose delivery. Slater loves him there. And so 4 runs. That makes it 5 off Simcox's first over. It's 1 for 54. Finachafani continuing.
He's got 4 wheels and goes.
Good shot. He's been looking for that one into the gap, running away down towards mid-wicket. Boone's thinking about the third, but he's decided to take it cautiously. There's 1 or 2 of these South Africans have got pretty good arms.
Really the test and mettle of a fast bowler, a wicket such as this. Change his pace. Keep it on a very good line and length.
Bowled him! That's gone back and it's hit the inside edge once again onto the stumps, and that'll bring a smile to the face of 1 or 2 South Africans. They were in desperate need of a wicket, and David Boone, not very happy with himself there, dragged that one back onto the stumps, and the South Africans have struck.
Wessel's definitely happier about this. He would have liked it a little earlier, but Fani de Villiers getting that breakthrough. David Boone very upset with himself, playing that ball back on. A similar dismissal in that he played it back on in Melbourne in the first test. He'll be very disappointed with that. He's got a start and hasn't gone on with it. Bowled by de Villiers for 19. David Boone departs. Australia 2 for 58.
Mark Waugh is the new batsman. This is his 3rd test match at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and those are his figures. And once again, nice placement there. Easily run single. And so Waugh off the mark, just dropped that one down and off he went. No one was going to get close to threatening them.
Fani de Villiers has given him another opportunity. Always a moment of elegance when Mark Waugh plays the pull shot or the hook.
Beautifully hit. No great effort in it. A lot of batsmen swing very hard.
2 for 72. Pat Simcox now going to bowl to Michael Slater.
He really needs a man there to save that easy single. Yes, Kepler is the most obvious choice from silly mid-off across to a position of leg slip. Leg slip might take the catch, and he can also do the double job of saving a single around the corner there.
That's spun and spun. Beautifully bowled by Simcox. Turned a long way off the pitch. Mark Waugh is gone. That has beaten the backstroke of Mark Waugh.
A lot of turn there, and absolutely no doubt that that would have gone on to hit the stumps, and just clipping Mark Waugh in line with off stump. So a good breakthrough there for Pat Simcox. Australia now 3 for 75.
New batsman is Alan Border. He won't be facing at the moment because that was the last ball of the over from Simcox. In the commentary box now, Bill Laurie, and alongside him is Tony Greig.
It's a good shot through the offside.
Forward straight away. He's gone straight for him, and Border's head has gone back there. It'll make him think about it a little bit. I'd like to see a man in behind square on the leg side. There's not one there. This is the last ball. Oh, and Border's gone for it. So straight away, that short ball has stirred Border up a little bit, and have a look at those mean eyes. 3 for 82. So Matthews taking over from Donald now. Into the gap, good shot, beautifully played, lovely timing. And that'll bring up his 50. It won't quite reach the boundary. But Michael Slater really has used his feet well. He's worked hard for this 50, and he'll be looking now to continuing. This has been a very valuable innings for Australia.
Yes, the second 50 of the match so far. He's worked hard. He's played 1 or 2 glorious shots. He's been covered by Pat Simcox in the last hour, but he's fighting it out.
It's whacked away square. That'll go for 4. Slightly over pitched there. Perhaps an attempt at a Yorker, and Slater really whipping it away off the meat of the bat.
Yes, and you can just feel the pressure easing here for Border and Michael Slater. Matthews straying onto middle leg. Superb shot.
Pretty firmly hit, considering there was a lot of pad in the shot. And that brings up the 100 for Australia.
Craig Matthews doesn't think it was all that good a shot. He can't believe it either, that it's raced down to the backward square leg boundary.
60 to Slater, 9 to Alan Border. Simcox getting very excited about the fact that Border didn't play a shot.
Just a minor victory there for Pat Simcox.
Beautiful placement from Border. He's obviously had a bit of a look at Simcox and decided that it's quite possible to use the feet. Started that last over. You can never be quite sure when the bowler's screaming out, catch it. Particularly judging by Pat Simcox's earlier effort against Mark Waugh.
There was another spinner creating some chances. This will be a totally different look to the attack.
It was Simcox who took a very good catch in the World Series competition to get rid of Slater. A caught and bowled from a ball that Slater really thumped back at him.
3 for 112, and bad news, one feels, for South Africa. Alan Donald leaving the field. Slater on 63. Close, just outside the line. He jumped out of the road there, Slater. His angle was very wide, de Villiers, but that was very close. Did it strike him in line, or was it going down the leg side? Let's have another look at that.
I'd suggest he's battling to get an LBW bowling from, well, within 3 or 4 inches of the edge of the return crease.
Oh, and that one goes straight down. Now, I'll put that down as a catch, no doubt, but it's a very difficult one. It went down, I'd say, onto the pads. May have just nicked the gloves. Let's have another look.
I'll back you up there, Tony. I think that should be taken. Full lot of glove on it.
In the air and just short. Well, for some reason, Border, all of a sudden, after that little drop catch behind, decided to have a flay at that one. And it could so easily have gone to any of the fieldsmen on the offside. Yes, no doubt about the Richardson drop catch there. Big deflection. 3 for 117.
Don't think his figures flatter him at this stage. I think they will. He's a man that gives his all, and that's good to see. It's good for Test cricket. Definitely good for South Africa.
Oh, and that's a way wide full toss. It's flayed away by Border there. And that's gone bouncing into the boundary there. Border didn't really pick it up, I don't think. It surprised him a little bit, although he got to the bat to it and went flying through gully down to the boundary for 4. Nicely placed by Border. Flicking that one away into the gap on the onside for 2. So 6 runs from that over, 3 for 123. That's looking north, and you can see the smoke there. Some fires up there in the North Ku-ring-gai area. Oh, that's well played into the gap on the offside. That's the 50 partnership. It's running down towards the fence. Will it get there? It'll just make it. And so breaking the shackles there, Slater, and getting stuck into that one. Smash it into the gap on the offside. Definitely a hot shot.
You could just see a little tone come over the game now. That'll really boost his confidence.
He's got that one away down to third man, and he'll be looking for 2. Very aggressive runner, Michael Slater. And that one straight down the ground. It's running away down towards long on. Once again off the meat of the bat. This time not quite getting to the fence. So 3 more to Slater. And it looks as if Donald slipped back onto the ground. We're going to need him too. Bill Laurie is going to take over in the commentary box, and with him is Jeff Lawson.
And back here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, it's going to be Pat Simcox, who's bowling a marathon spell here. It's well played, cutting it up probably off middle and leg stump. Gave himself some room. Young eye picked it off easily. Nicely played. It's beautifully played. Got to go all the way this time. We're very close to it. He wasn't gaining on it. Doesn't make it. So 3 to Border. Beautifully played. Used his feet, got to the pitch of the ball, but that outfield reasonably slow today.
Kepler Wessels is going to give Alan Donald a little bit of a run here. Border going after that one. That's a good shot too. Slightly overpitched. Border over the years has played that shot absolutely superbly. And Jonty Rhodes doing a magnificent job there. I thought that had gone into the fence. He very nearly went straight through it. He must have got a hand on it. And let's have a look at this. He really does let himself go. And just got it as he hit the fence. Oh, and that one does bounce. Every now and again we see one that bounces down that end. There are obviously a few little marks down there. We'll try and pick them up in the morning for you with a pitch report. So 3 from that over. It's 3 for 148. So Border's going to have to face the music now. He's on 33. Pat Simcox is going to continue. Up he goes again. He's got an interesting way of appealing. Border trying to sweep that one away. And, he's decided that he needs a bit of help from the dressing room. Now what's happened here is that one bobbed up and hit him in the eye. Yes, it has too. So Border's cut his eye. Going for the sweep shot there. That one's hit Border in the eye, and it's opened him up. Look at the blood running down his face there. So Border might have to go and have something done about that. I wonder if he got a top edge on that one.
Must have come up, flicked up off the pad, and I'd say it's hit him right up under the soft tissue of the eyebrow. Border immediately realises he's got a problem there as he put the glove to the eyebrow, but it's got the very soft part, I'd say, and that's how it's cut him. Just as well he wasn't a fighter.
Oh, he's made a good shot at that one. He's pulled it away. He was looking for the bouncer there, and he smashed it down to square leg, and the crowds have come out of their seats. And that also brings up the 150 for Australia. He was looking for that one. Lovely blue sky here in Sydney, the odd cloud about. That's the Sydney Tower, which hovers over the city. And the view from there is absolutely fabulous. Slater on strike. Again, short, that's in the air. This will be out. No, it won't. Just out of the reach of the fieldsman there. And Donald's hands go in the air. That looked as if it was going to go straight up. And Slater pretty angry with himself, trying to go for that one there. He's really tried to whack it away over mid-wicket. Here it is.
At the other end, Michael Slater's on 86. If he makes 100, it'll be a very good one. That's well driven and well fielded. Border luckily with the foot behind the line there. Alan Donald got some hand on that delivery and smashed into the stumps. Slater on 92. There's one up in the air and it falls safely short. No bat pad, and that's the penalty you pay. You've got 2 men in the deep. Couple of Vessels folds his hands, but it's his fault. Slater was caught at short leg in Melbourne off this bowler. Interesting over. 3 for 179. Villiers to Border on 49. Gone. Yes, good catch. Brilliant one-handed catch. So Border falls for 49. That's what South Africa needed. De Villiers getting the captain to slash. The wicket-keeper took a fine one-handed catch, and finally they get their 4th wicket.
Dave Richardson, a bit of a mark of the year here, just the one hand. Only thought it deserved the one. Crouching down, this ball bouncing a little more. New Cherry got a little bit of lift. Up goes Dave Richardson. He's very happy. Takes it in the left mitt. Alan Border departs. A long but worthwhile innings from the Australian skipper of 49. He'll be a little disappointed he didn't get another half-century to what is an absolutely magnificent victory. It's fantastic applause as he leaves the ground. Australia 4 for 179.
Damien Martin comes to the crease. A wicket maiden for De Villiers, 4 for 179. Got him, knocked him over. That's what they needed. Clean bowled for 92, Slater. First time he's really pitched it up, Donald, and he went right through maybe the inside edge, and all of a sudden this game just swinging back into an even-Steven situation.
Nervous 90s, aren't they? A nasty area. Michael Slater going for a more controlled drive than he did previously. Inside edge onto the pad, through to the stumps. And there is one very, very happy man. Alan Donald hasn't bowled with a lot of luck. He's had his bit of luck in this situation. The dismissal of Michael Slater for 92. I'm very disappointed with that. Australia 5 for 179.
Ian Healy, the new batsman, yet to score. All of a sudden it's 5 for 179.
Beautifully hit, was in the air, but right off the middle of the bat.
It's a lovely shot, that one.
Dropped. Difficult one. Straight off the bat at bat pad. They're not easy, but Gary Kirsten did get a hand on it. Australia 5 for 194, leading by 25. Edged and down, or did it carry?
It carried all right. Vessel's got a hand on that one, so this time it wasn't Daryl Kalinen's fault. That ball has split the webbing between his little finger. There it is there, and you can't mess around with those. You've got to go and get them fixed up right away.
And there's an appeal there. Oh, umpire Sheehan says no. Fani de Villiers, I think, has got a finger on it. Must have been very close.
Well, let's have a look for a start. The big thing is, did he get his bat back? And was it in the air? No, it wasn't. It wasn't on the ground.
Craig Matthews from the members' end.
He's beaten the bat a few times. He's just got nothing to show for it in the wickets column.
It's 2 more added to his total here as Damien Martyn punches that through a wide mid-on, brings up the 200 for 5.
No more runs added, and the Australian score stayed at 5 for 200 at the end of the second day. 92 to Slater, 19 to Boone, 49 to Border, and unbeaten Martin on 15 and Healy on 6. South African bowling, they bowled very well. Donald 2 for 61, de Villiers 2 for 48, Matthews none for 33. Very unlucky today, I thought. Pat Simcox 33 straight overs, and he finished with 1 for 56. One bit of sad news, Alan Border with that crack in the eye needs 4 stitches. Not good. Here at the SCG, we look forward to your company tomorrow for the 3rd day of this Test match. Welcome to the highlights of the 3rd day's play of this Test match at the SCG between Australia and South Africa. A great first day and a very, very tough second day. Variable bounce and a lot of spin there made life difficult for the batsmen. The Australians got up to 5 for 200 at the close of play. That's the way their card looked. Damien Martyn 15 and Ian Healy 6. Each of them had good fortune with drop chances. The South Africans might rue that before the game is over. And the bowling figures for the South Africans themselves: 2 for 61 for Donald, Fani de Villiers 2 for 48. He bowled pretty well. And Matthews had no luck. And Pat Simcox, I thought, was very good. 34 overs, 10 maidens, and 1 for 56. So missed chances added misfortune to the South Africans' woes. Also, this incident with Kepler Wessels, and I'm afraid Kepler Wessels goes into this 3rd day with a compound fracture of his left hand. The webbing is split as well, and that is desperate luck for the South Africans. He's their top batsman and their captain, and Hansie Cronje will lead them out on the field today. We join play now in perfect conditions here at the SCG. In the second over, there's no addition to the score, and it's Fani de Villiers coming in to bowl to Ian Healy. Your commentators, Bill Laurie and Tony Greig.
Healy drives nicely from the half volley straight down the ground. The outfield's been slow in this match. 3 to Healy, a good positive start. It's a good shot. That's Kirsten short leg. So Martin off the mark this morning. A very strong player, Damien Martyn. I think his best method is to attack. He's a dashing young player. And he drives beautifully. Good shot down the hill. Johnny Rhodes is chasing. May not get this. It's a boundary. Well played.
That is a lovely shot.
8 runs off the over. It's 5 for 208. It's Donald from the members' end to Damien Martyn on 16. Is that another chance? He's put 2 down there. That was very difficult. I think Donald's saying good save, but I think that was much like the one late yesterday where Gary Kirsten got his hands to it and it didn't stick. De Villiers from the Randwick end. Brilliant shot. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, he doesn't mind having a go outside off stump, and when he hits them, they certainly stay hit. That was in the air, flies away to the boundary. Whatever happens, he's going to take. It's going to take a bit of catching.
Close, very close. Umpire Sheehan says it struck him outside the line. A very big shout from De Villiers, who goes very wide, but certainly that was close. 5 for 203 as Simon O'Donnell and Greg Chappell takes up the commentary.
Doing some work on the ball, making sure he can keep the shine on the ball. This is the 25th over with this ball. And there we have some runs from his bowling.
It's taken a while, but Damien Martyn taking full toll of a short wide delivery from Alan Donald. One of his favourite shots. Executes it exceptionally well. The play so far today has been very similar to yesterday. Slow, dogged, both departments, bat and ball.
Found the gap again, this time on the leg side. Won't go all the way to the boundary, but there'll be 3 runs for Damien Martyn. He's broken the shackles. average of 23, which is pretty good for this level of cricket. He's been very successful throughout his first-class career. He's managed that to take that into the international scene. Ian Healy finally gets the gap as well from Alan Donald, so having bowled 4 maidens in a row, Alan Donald has been absolutely wasteful. Alan Donald is one who really does like to work hard on the ball, holding it there for the in-swinger. Not much swing there, just a little bit of movement. That's the 50 partnership between these two, and a very good partnership it's been for Australia. As we said, in the context of a low-scoring game, this is an important partnership. So it just shows you how hard batting has been. Won't get any easier for the South Africans in the second innings. It's in the air. Ian Healy, almost a compulsive hooker. Richardson gets across and takes the catch. Alan Donald, a little bit of justice there for Donald. He's bowled pretty well in the 2 test matches, or what passed for a test match in Melbourne, interrupted by the rain. But he's claimed his 3rd wicket in the innings, and Ian Healy again gone hooking.
Pace, the major weapon here. Far too quick onto Ian Healy, a lot quicker than what he thought. A little mix-up there. Dave Richardson taking the catch eventually. Brian McMillan assisting with a little bit of backup just in case it got through. Ian Healy departs for 19. Australia 6 for 229.
Shane Warne, the wrecker of the South African first innings, comes out to bat. His runs there for Damien Martin. He's picked the gap and no one will be able to cut it off. Alan Donald obviously thinking about his feet is causing him some concern. It's very interesting to watch Alan Donald because his back foot comes down a very awkward way as well.
Another tight session here at the SCG. It was a real battle for runs yesterday. Australia edging up towards 100 lead. That's pretty well hit. Shane Warne doing everything he can to get that sweep shot away, and he's hit it right off the middle. 6 for 246. That's a good shot. No slip and nobody behind point. That brings up the 250.
I've seen plenty of guys knocked over with the stumps removed trying to cut that one at the SCG before, but Damien Martin stayed down well with it, didn't try to hit it too hard.
Jonty Rhodes, and he has taken the catch very comfortably. Shane Warne was bashing his bat on his pad even before the catch had been taken, and like all spinners, hating to get out to the opposition spinner.
Australia lose their 7th wicket for 250.
So Craig McDermott at the non-striker's end. Craig McDermott with quite a bit of batting ability, probably more than that career average suggests.
Because Shane Warne has an inquiring mind, when he sits down and cools down, he might ask himself what he would think if someone had played a shot like that against him. Given that something, a little bit of Larry Dooley straight down the ground.
And under some very difficult conditions and at a very important stage of the game here in Sydney, he's been prepared to work very hard for his runs, but still looking for scoring opportunities.
And there's one of them. It's the mark of a good player. That wasn't all that short. He pulled it beautifully away through mid-wicket. And the lead now, which is approaching 100, can be put down in the main to the partnership between Slater and Border. It was a great performance. Pat Simcox is not impressed. Man at short leg is not impressed. The man at short point's not impressed.
This ball from the inside edge of the bat onto the foot and in the air. The fieldsman's taken the catch comfortably. The question that has to be asked is whether there was any ground involved as well. Umpire Bill Sheehan thinks so. I think it's fair to say that Pat Simcox thought it was out.
Yep. 50 for Damien Martin. Nice hand too. And an excellent ovation from the small crowd here at the SCG. Good innings from Damien Martin. Craig Matthews is off now at the members' end here at the SCG. Fani de Villiers is the bowler. And he's gone. Fani de Villiers has claimed the wicket there of Craig McDermott. Breakthrough for South Africa, a little later than they may have hoped. Nice diving catch away to the fielder's left there.
Craig McDermott just finding out how difficult it is to drive on this wicket. Hansi Cronje diving away to his left takes a comfortable catch. Craig McDermott now finally on his way, much to the delight of the South African fielders. So McDermott out for 6, Australia 8 for 266.
Tim Mayes, the new batsman for Australia. High score of 42 in Test matches, 161 runs. He can bat a bit. He's made a first-class century.
A few South African batsmen waking up this morning, and they'll hear the news that Wessels has broken a bone in his hand, and they'll be wondering whether it's going to be them that gets the call. I suppose Peter Kirsten will be one. He lives down in the Eastern Cape Province, a place called East London. Just a little short, that one, and leg by signalled by umpire Randall.
Man not noted for his batting. Well suited to number 11, I would have thought.
He's had a go at that one, and it's gone way over the top of the mid-off's head. He won't get anywhere near it. Bounced almost 2/3 to the boundary. So Martin deciding he'd had enough of this blocking, and he was going to give de Villiers a bit of stick, and he decided that the way to go was over the top of mid-off, and this is how he did it. That's the old style, and a lot of real cricket lovers sit up in the stands and do it ball by ball. Got him, caught behind, no doubt about that. Big nick and very, very low one, that one taken just below, just above the surface, and no doubt about the nick. It really did make a noise as it went past the bat. And so Damien Martin is out for 59, and it goes Port Richardson bowled by de Villiers, and in the little slot there is 59.
Just a little bit of movement off the seam by Fani de Villiers, and he's pretty happy about it. As the odd ball has moved somewhat, Damien Martin appears suspiciously at the pitch, but that's the end of a very fine innings from Damien Martin. You can be very pleased with that 59. Australia now 9 for 281.
He's only made 23 runs in 13 first-class matches, and that's the highest score of 8 from what I can gather. And he was just missed first ball when he played in his Test match debut, so he can only go forward. Young McGrath with a bat. Right off the meat. He wants one. He's going for it. This could be a run out. No, he's home. That's his first run in Test cricket. Boy, the minute he saw he'd placed it into the gap there, he was off. That's his old man, I think, up in the stands there. Just one run and a wicket off that over. 9 for 282. Oh, that's very delicately played. And a big cheer. Just opened the face slightly there and ran the ball away off the face of the bat. And he's collected himself 3. And I tell you what, his aggregate's gone up in leaps and bounds.
Fani de Villiers to continue for the members' end. He's done a great job for his team. Good, honest workhorse. Doing a bit off the track here. It's well hit. Down the ground, the crowd roars. They'll probably pick up 3 as well. Matthews is not all that quick. A good throw here could be interesting. But it's not. That's well run. Listen to the crowd. They're loving this tail wagging here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He's going for the quickest bowler on the side against the tail. That's Alan Donald. Beauty of cricket. Well, that one's over. Donald gets 4. Good captaincy. He's clean bowled for 9, and a good effort by the South African bowlers to bowl Australia out for 292 on the slowest pitch. They're basically a pace attack, but a very good stubborn performance by the Australian batsmen.
5 for 92, the Australians lost today. It was a good performance from the South Africans, and the Australian card 292 with a top score, Michael Slater 92. A good innings today from Damien Martyn 59 and Ian Healy 19, Shane Warne 11, but the South Africans did well, 141.2 overs for that 292. Donald 4 for 83 and de Villiers 4 for 80. The off-spinner Pat Simcox 46 overs, 11 maidens and 2 for 82. We join the South African reply now in the third over. It's none for 2. McDermott is the bowler. Hudson is taking strike. And with me in the commentary box is Ian Chappell.
Well, that's a beautiful delivery. Much better line from McDermott.
Close to perfect.
It's not so easy to cover off stump if your first movement is back towards the leg side. I wouldn't mind hazarding a guess that Hudson doesn't even know he's doing it. Beaten again, and he's gone. The edge from a perfect delivery from Craig McDermott, and once again Hudson not covering off stump.
Beautifully bowled by McDermott. Had to play at it. Just got the thick edge, and it was a straightforward catch for Ian Healy. That's very well bowled by Craig McDermott, and the South Africans are going to be very, very unhappy about that. 1 for 2.
Hansi Cronje has come in at number 3, as he did in the first innings. Kepler Wessel's a very courageous man, and always one to lead from the front wherever possible. And he's got the pads on, so we assume that he's going to come in next.
Oh. Inside edge, darting down the leg side. Must have been close.
I think Craig McDermott would like to know why, and a very good decision there by umpire Randall. A lot of movement off the seam. 9 overs for just 11 runs, so the struggle continues for the batsman. Andrew Hudson is the man out. In the commentary position, Tony Greig and Greg Chappell.
Thank you, Ian. Oh, that's very, very adjacent as well. Fairly well left, really. Don't play at balls you don't have to, but Glenn McGrath must have wondered where that one went. And that one again. This time Kirsten not quite sure where that one went. Beat him for pace and then bounce. Down the leg side. Most players at this level can handle those deliveries pretty well. Won't go all the way. The outfield fairly slow here, but Gary Kirsten's not slow, and he'll run 4. A good piece of fielding, but some good running. One of the better overs for South Africa, 1 for 19. The hero of the first innings and the hero of most of Australian cricket fans at the moment. As Lord Warne comes in to bowl.
Shout of catch, and Fieldsman is claiming it, but well, I'm not sure he was claiming it. Not sure that McDermott's quite sure what happened. And the ball landing in front of Craig McDermott there. Once again, he finds that gap, and that one a bit better timed. And quite well hit by Hansi Cronje. Did appear as though he'd made up his mind to charge that one before Shane Warne delivered it.
Happened a couple of times in Melbourne where Cronje came down the wicket before Tim May and Shane Warne had delivered the ball. And here was a little bit of, yes, I have made my mind up. I'm going to come down and belt you. And he did.
You tail enders might belt you, but the top order players, mate, they're just lofted strokes, I'd have you know.
And the news from South African point of view is not good. Kepler Wessels is going home at the end of this week. And he's prepared to sweep, and there's 2 men out, and he finds a gap. Brilliant stuff. Controlled sweep shot, hitting it from outside off stump, forward to square leg. He's gone again. Just the 1 run this time. 50-run partnership. And that's a very good partnership. 1 for 2 South Africa. Hudson out for 1. The pressure was really on. In pretty good time too, in 93 minutes. They're back in this match. 17,000 fans enjoying this battle. It's a good fight by South Africa, 1 for 56.
Tim May to Gary Kirsten. Good shout there for the run out, but I've got the sideboard in the way. And he's obviously called for the videotape replay. And Bill, you can tell us what's happening.
Well, it's very close. I'm not sure whether Healy actually had the ball in the end there. There he goes. That'll be not out. And he certainly had the ball and he broke the stumps, but no doubt that Hansie Cronje is safe and well. May over the wicket. Kirsten using his feet. Now, oops, could be a chance for he's in real trouble here, but he's safely back. I'm not sure what the vice-captain was doing there. That was Kirsten's call. He placed it, he hit it softly into the gap, and Hansie Cronje refused to run.
It's going to be McDermott now. He's going to bowl. He's going to continue to bowl around the wicket to the left-hander. Oh, and just in the air for a little while there. Boone just a little deep.
Doesn't seem to me to be moving too freely, David Boone.
And again, that's a good shot through the offside field. He's played that once or twice. It'll probably run towards the boundary for 4. Just make it, will it? No, it won't. They drag back, and back they come. Oh, there's a mix-up just for a second there. Once again, Kirsten almost, for no reason at all, came to a grinding halt in the middle of the wicket. Well,
Not sure what's going on out there with their running between the wickets.
oh, and that's... oh, yes, it's bowled him. He's nicked it, and it's gone onto the off stump, and that's the end of Kirsten. Well, the angle eventually worked for McDermott. He's obviously been working away at a theory there. He's come back off the inside edge, and it's hit the top of the off stump. And so McDermott has struck. The partnership is broken.
Looked like a wonderful change of pace there from Craig McDermott. Had the batsman playing too soon. And he said farewell as he comes through. That very good bowling. Nice spell of bowling from McDermott. He bowled well early on as well. 41 for him. Gary Kirsten, and South Africa now 2 for 75. The breach has been made.
Well, there's a surprise for you. Kepler Wessels. I told him he was going to come out, and he's out there now. And he's going to battle away despite the fact that he's got a compound fracture of his hand.
Talented batsman, this young man. He's only 24.
Shows some of the class of Cronje, the best of the South African batsmen on this tour. And that was a very impressive shot. Interesting that the fast bowlers have probably had to change their thinking a little bit with Shane Warne and Tim May in the side. Not as much bowling around as there used to be. It's a good delivery, very uncomfortable for Hansie Cronje. He's a pretty strong man. 2 for 86. Cronje has had some uncomfortable moments, not least of all the last ball of the last over, right up under the rib cage. He's nearly gone down and then decided that he'd better do something better than that. Well timed by Kepler Wessels. He's really handicapped there with the broken hand, but manages to get the ball almost all the way to the boundary. 6 o'clock has been and gone. This will definitely be the last over of the day. Should be the last ball of the day. And there it is. Cronje will be happy to take the single and have first ball to face tomorrow morning. So South Africa have had a pretty reasonable day here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 2 for 94.
South Africa still 29 behind Australia, 8 wickets in hand there, with Hansie Cronje 37 and Kepler Wessels 7. A brave effort from Wessels, the South African captain. 41 to Gary Kirsten, and the bowling figures for the Australians. McDermott bowled quite brilliantly out there, 13 overs, 5 maidens and 2 for 23. So 23 behind the South Africans. Another good day in prospect tomorrow. For the moment, from the SCG, it's good. Welcome to the highlights of the 4th day's play of this Test match between Australia and South Africa at the SCG. A day of great anticipation for the people who are at the ground and watching on television. Lots of things in store. This is the scorecard. 2 for 94 at the close of play on the 3rd evening. Hudson out for 1, Kirsten for 41, Hansie Cronje 37, playing very well indeed, and Kepler Wessels 7, 8 extras and 50 overs gone for the 2 for 94. The Australian bowling, McDermott, I thought, bowled quite beautifully yesterday. 13 overs, 5 maidens and 2 for 23. Danger men today would be Tim May and Shane Warne, but don't forget McDermott either. Perfect conditions when we join play in the 5th over. It's 2 for 99 now. It's McGrath coming into bowl to Kepler Wessels. Your commentators, Bill Laurie and Tony Greig.
It's a good shot, and that's through. That'll go down the hill. Maybe Border got a hand to that. Look for 3 more. It brings up the 100. They're happy with 2. So the lead is 22. It's right off the middle of the bat. And once they get in front, South Africa, Tony, that'll give them a big lift. South Africa 123 behind in the first innings when this innings started. That's their first objective, to get in front of Australia. McDermott, who bowled beautifully yesterday, was by far the best bowler. As Cronje takes guard with that very relaxed grip, feet well apart. He's not a thumper, is he? He's just tapping that pitch with the bat. Well balanced. Got him right through. Just as a saying, he's got a good defence. McDermott picks up his 3rd wicket. It didn't seem to do a lot. He just seemed to be a fraction late. Maybe it went through the gate. A superb bowling.
Because I think that kept pretty low and probably nipped back a little bit as well. But he looked as if he had it covered. He was very, very easy. He went in there and bang, through the gap it went. And that dreadful death rattle. And once again, McDermott has struck. Accuracy is the name of his game. And South Africa now in a lot of trouble. 3 for 101.
Darryl Cullinan comes to the crease because Hansie Cronje has been bowled neck and crop by Craig McDermott. He seemed to be a little bit casual in his defensive stroke, and McDermott found the gate. Well, this is going to be a test of courage for young Darryl Cullinan. He made a big 100 against Queensland, and South Africa played at the Gabba.
Wessels too will have his work cut out. He's got a bit of rough just outside the off stump there, and Warner's starting over the wicket, so it's not going to be easy for him either. They've got a man at forward short leg, Boone waiting for the little edge, a slip in position there as well. Here goes Warne.
Sweeps and gets it fine. May the fieldsman. This could go all the way. That's 4. That's the way Kepler Wessels should be playing Shane Warne. The ball is spinning down the leg side, the left-hander. And he's got him as well. That's a beauty, playing against the spin. This test match is going to finish early because the 2 informed bowlers have clean bowled the 2 top batsmen. Wessels playing against the spin, clean bowled by Shane Warne.
Yes, this one did rip back quite a long way. Wessels trying to wait for it to come to him, and eventually the spin was too much for him. Oh, look at it, goes at right angles and just clips the leg bail. And Warne in these conditions is a very good bowler. That spun a long way, and the end of the South African captain. Very sad moment this is. He's going to have to catch the plane home now and try and recover in time for the series in South Africa. So Wessels out for 18 and South Africa in real trouble, 4 for 107.
Jonty Rhodes, the new batsman, Shane Warne, the bowler.
Daryl Cullinan facing Shane Warne. There's always a feeling of anticipation when Warne is bowling to Cullinan. When will the flipper come? Beautiful delivery, a leg break.
Why it's going to be so difficult to play for many years is exactly what happened there. He doesn't flight the ball an enormous amount. He gets a good bit of loop, but it comes at quite a pace. You can bowl them all very, very well. They're very difficult to pick, especially if you're relying on it through the air.
Big shout, and he's gone. Once again, the quicker delivery has got right through Daryl Cullinan, and he really does have some thinking to do about his cricket.
Fair dinkum. Saw Terry Alderman in England getting players out in the same fashion many a time. I suppose you've got to find it a little bit hard to string some words together. You've got to feel for Daryl Cullinan. He can't handle that flipper of Shane Warne's in any shape or form. Won't be much blunter than that. South Africa 5 for 110.
David Richardson comes to the crease. A big swing in the match this morning. McDermott getting the first breakthrough. Shane Warne with the next two. Warne now has 9 victims for the match, 93 in his Test career.
See if Jonty has learnt from his first innings mistake. Can read that flipper.
Just wide of Mark Waugh. You reckon they're not Dolphin fans, mate? They haven't heard of flipper.
That's the first thing I'd send him as a videotape from the old days. And just keep playing it through the hotel room television. That was the wrong one. Don't know what television show we're going to go to for that one.
David Boone. Not sure he had much say in it because he had his back turned, but he very nearly had Jonty run out.
Grab it, Babsy. We got him. That's what would have been said out there. Jonty quick on his feet, watching the ball. Very important you keep doing it, even after you've hit it.
It's an obvious wrong one, and it's dealt with the way all full tosses should be. Just smashed away to the mid-off boundary. That was very obvious.
A disastrous day so far for the South Africans. Cronje out, Wessels out, Cullinan out, and now little Jonty Rhodes having a lovely scrap out there, trying to survive here with Richardson, and they're having to front Warne, who's bowling beautifully. Oh, and up she goes. There's the Souter, shake of the head there. Warne looks around, and he's amazed by the decision of umpire Randall there. It's a difficult one. Those bat pads, very, very hard. Warne snatches away at the ball there. I'm not too sure that's going to do him much good. See if we can pick up a bit of nick.
Definitely two noises there, but the one was the ball hitting the middle of the pad. The other noise would have been the bat hitting the inside of the pad.
So he's got a bat on that one too. It's gone way down to fine legs, so they'll get at least 2 here. Will Richardson come back? I don't think so. So that brings up the 150 for South Africa. Well, Alan Border has decided to have a little go himself just before the lunch break and see if he can change the angle a bit and perhaps get one to turn away from the right-hander. He's a left-arm orthodox spinner. Pitch it around about off stump. Started with a full toss and appropriately punished straight down the ground, right off the mid of the bat for 4.
A very warm day in Sydney as we look across there at Sydney Tower at centre point. Lovely gold colour shimmering in the sunlight. A good shot. Very quick on his feet, Jonty, and you get the feeling that he's starting to get a little bit more confident. So Glenn McGrath being called into the attack at the Randwick end.
Well, that's close. That's out.
There's Richardson going a long way across to the offside. I'm not sure that he knew how far he had been going across. He got into the habit a bit against Tim May of moving well to the off stump and turning the off spinner on the onside, but it hasn't worked here.
Just a little shuffle in front of the stumps. Not much doubt about that one. And the second new ball does its job. Then McGrath has the breakthrough. South Africa now into a good partnership there. Richardson and Rhodes have been doing very well, but the sixth wicket has fallen. South Africa 6 for 182.
Pat Simcox has just arrived at the crease. Welcome to the crease, Mr. Simcox. He showed quite a good defensive technique in the first innings, and he has a career average of 30 over 5 test matches.
They've been looking at spin now for an hour or two, so the extra pace has been surprising.
And Simcox deciding to open the shoulders a little there. Maybe we're going to see a slightly more aggressive Pat Simcox in this innings. It's 6 for 185. 40 to Rhodes, 4 to Simcox.
Craig McDermott's now beaten him outside the off stump a couple of times. He's got two choices: keep at that plan, try to bowl that ball on the stumps, or maybe even go for leg stump with Simcox so far across. This time is very well bowled, and that's gone. Super piece of bowling from Craig McDermott.
Once again, that perfect line around off stump with a little bit of movement away from the right-hander. And that now takes McDermott along to 217 test wickets, one ahead of Clary Grimmett.
That is just an excellent piece of top-class fast bowling. They set him up. Taylor had the word at the start of the over. McDermott pitched it fuller. The new ball's done its job. It's moved away in the air. 2 wickets now with the second new ball. South Africa 7 for 188.
Craig Matthews comes in to face the last ball from Craig McDermott. In the commentary position now, Bill Laurie and Richie Benaud.
Thank you, Ian Chappell. A wonderful over from McDermott. Matthews on strike. Beaten neck and crop. Superb over. That's the over bowled. He really did make a mess of Pat Simcox in that over. 7 for 188. Shane Warne on the front page of January's Inside Edge edition. He really is the man on everybody's lips worldwide in cricket, not just here in Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, but also England, the subcontinent. We're seeing a fine young leg spinner. Got him! What a ripper! Mark Waugh close at silly point. That ball flew off the bat. Mark Waugh with lightning reflexes takes a gem, and Warne picks up his 10th wicket in this test match. A wonderful performance, a brilliant fielding exhibition.
There are some catches that are taken are brilliant because the batsman positions himself. Other times they're just reflex. That was straight out reflex. A wonderful catch. He's one of the great fielders we've had over the years in Australian cricket. It's 8 for 197.
Farney de Villiers comes to the centre of the Sydney Cricket Ground as Shane Warne picks up 10 wickets in a test match for the first time with a beautiful leg break. Aggressive, accurate approach. Ian Chappell said before, he's so accurate. He drops it on the cent piece all the time, yet the ball is spinning like a top. Rhodes on 47. Goes for it. This will be 50. Well played, Johnny Rhodes. He'll get a generous round of applause here if he takes the 3. He might decide to stay there. No, they come back, and that's well played. And look at the Australians all clapping. They know a fine hand when they see one.
It was a very good innings. Gutsy, a lot of stroke play and good footwork.
8 for 203. Rhodes 50, de Villiers 2. It's going to be Shane Warne to continue to Farney de Villiers.
That's very, yes. I would say that's probably going to hit middle stump.
Well, he was forward. Let's have a look at that. It's a very difficult to tell. We're looking from behind here. He was given a judged LBW, I think. Have a look at that. Warne picks up his 4th wicket, his 11th for the match. There it is, it's a flipper. Well, there's not much doubt about that. It was low and plumb in front. An easy decision, that one. And that's the end of Farney de Villiers. It's 9 for 203.
This is the LBW. Just watch this ball straighten down the line. Sure, he comes forward, a little bit of drift in, and then clonk on the pad, hit him right down there just above his laces and would probably have hit middle stump. Up goes the finger, the dreaded finger there. The batsman paused for a while, I think more out of frustration and disappointment than anything else. There's no way in the world he could have been upset about that decision. And straight away Alan Donald comes in, and now he's got to worry about Warne. So he's going to have a little wander down the pitch, see if he can get rid of some of those little pebbles that are hanging around there. So one ball to go now in this over. It's a big man, Donald. It's a googly, and well, did he read it? It doesn't matter. He got a bit of back to it, and that's the end of Warne's over. So another wicket to him. This certainly is a tremendous performance once again by Shane Warne. This is McDermott. Short and well played. That's a magnificent shot. Short and take that. It's over the fence as well. Well, that's a long boundary, and Jonty Rhodes is not going to be messed around with. That short ball disappearing over the fence at square leg.
Johnny's not going to muck around here. I don't think he has a lot of confidence in the ability of his partner at the other end. Anything offline, I think we may see him trying to be particularly harsh on it.
The Australians really have bowled well here, and this man has bowled as well as anyone. And there he goes again, and that one he was off to a little bit quicker, right off the meat of the bat again. That'll be 4-2. Well, take that, I think was the word as he went past McDermott. That's another very, very good shot, this time in front of square, through mid-wicket in fact. Let's have another look at it.
We've never seen this aggression from Jonty Rhodes before. Two very good pull shots in this over. That one not quite as elegant as his last, but still very effective. Plenty of bat on it. Over mid-wicket in front of square, which shows he's picking him up nice and early.
Shot, beautiful shot. It's racing away down towards extra cover. Will it get there? I don't think so. Not quite. But 3 more to Rhodes. He's playing some lovely shots. Oh, this could be close if he hits. Jonty Rhodes is quick, though. Yes, they were looking for the single there, and again, another example of what Simon O'Donnell was saying. Just a little mix-up in the calling.
It's always got to be very sure. Alan Donald's setting off. Let's have a stare at each other. No, go back, please. And a dive from Jonty Rhodes. Would have been an interesting one if it hit.
Good shot. No ball called. Straight down the ground. Tim Mays after it. Donald will come back for the third. 3 more to the total. Every run vital. 3 runs there for no ball. 7 runs of that over. 9 for 221.
There's an edge there, and that's the end of Alan Donald, and that's the end of the South African innings. Ian Healy takes quite a sharp catch, and Shane Warne has taken another 5 wickets in an innings. 12 for the match, and a very impressive performance it's been once again. But I think the honours for the day really go with Jonty Rhodes. It's been a good performance when you consider how few batsmen have handled Shane Warne well in the last 12 months. Jonty Rhodes can walk off there with his head held high. It was a magnificent innings of 76, but this is how Alan Donald went. Just an outside edge, well taken by Ian Healy. Confident appeal by the Australians, and Shane Warne has done it again.
That's a great effort from the last wicket pair there, Jonty Rhodes and Alan Donald. They put on 36 to take it up to 239. Jonty Rhodes 76 not out, and Donald got himself into double figures. 239 for the South Africans, and the Australian bowling, a very good performance from McDermott, 28 overs, 9 maidens, 4 for 62, and Shane Warne, 42 overs, 17 maidens, 5 for 72. You can count the bad balls he bowled during the day on the fingers of one hand. A terrific effort from those 2 players. Put the Australians in with a chance, and we'll be back in a moment at the SCG to see how they attack the chase for 117 for victory. 117 needed by the Australians for victory in this second Test match at the SCG. We join play now in the second over. Fani de Villiers is the bowler. Mark Taylor is taking strike. 1 run on the board without loss, and it's Bill Lawry and Simon O'Donnell.
It's a fine shot. Taylor off the mark with a wonderful off drive. Simcox, the fieldsman, lumbering after it down to long off. 3 runs. Got him, beauty, knocked him over, good delivery, Slater ball, and all of a sudden is the door open for South Africa, right through the gates.
Deceived him with the line here. Michael Slater trying to push this ball towards mid-wicket, mid-on. Just straightened a little bit for de Villiers and clipping that off stump. You can see him here trying to push it towards mid-on, mid-wicket. Swung late, a lovely delivery, one that really does give South Africa hope. Michael Slater's on his way. Just the 1 run next to him. He'll be very disappointed about that. Few nerves in the Australian dressing room. 1 for 4.
David Boone, a test average of 46, but he averages 86 on the Sydney Cricket Ground. An ideal player for this type of situation, but that was a beautiful delivery from Fani de Villiers. Donald. That goes over the top. Well, they had 2 men there, and Boone beat both of them to go for 4. Well, it was... I think it was intentional, but it wasn't with a lot of conviction, that one. He didn't really go after it. He sort of angled the bat and it flew over the man at point and deep gully.
So we have a look at de Villiers through the stump cam. It's amazing what you can do with your chewing gum when you run out of flavour. No bedpost around. It's a great opportunity here for Alan Donald to show himself to be a top-class fast bowler. This is when his team and his country need him.
Oh, he's dropped it. That has gone straight back to him and he put it down. Now that's the length he's got to bowl. Boone got a little bit foxed by that one. Perhaps it did stop a little bit and it went straight back to Donald, who didn't look as if he picked it up for a second. You watch the movement of his hands here.
David Boone thinks he's out. He's off. Oh, no, I'm still there. Alan Donald can't believe it. I think it might have beaten him for pace there, lack of it.
Well, it's a maiden over, 1 for 20. Pat Simcox. Short outside off stump and it's beaten the field. Those spin of it as they hit the deck when they go flying away out on the offside there, and that one's gone to the fence for 4. Short delivery, deserved to be punished. 1 for 28.
Villiers cracked through the covers. That's a fine shot. That's Mark Taylor at his best. Rhodes may get it. He'll pick up 3. Still 9 overs to be bowled tonight. And the Australians will be looking to get very close to that 117 needed for victory. Taylor getting into the act now. Timing the ball beautifully. They'll pick up 3 here. And then a 36-run last wicket partnership. Got him! What a brilliant catch! That is a superb catch. Gary Kirsten at the leg, short leg, does a David Boone. He catches Boone, and it's now 2 for 51.
Well, Alan Donald may have dropped the sitter earlier, but Gary Kirsten's made up for it. Boone jams this into his pad. And moving in the air from de Villiers. And Kirsten, who's put down a few sharp ones there. This one goes straight to him. And that's a good catch and fitting reward for Fani de Villiers. He takes his 2nd wicket. That of David Boone. He goes for 24. Australia now 2 for 51.
Night watchman Tim May. Well, in Melbourne it was Shane Warne. He went 2nd ball. Here in Sydney it's Tim May. So the spinners have the responsibility of becoming the night watchman. May is a very good defensive player. And de Villiers will be coming in at 100 mile an hour now from the members' end to the night watchman. Big shout, close, got him! He's on a hat-trick, Fani de Villiers. The night watchman fails again. Can South Africa pull this out of the hat? This may be the magic act.
Well, this is a carbon copy of Melbourne. Only that occasion it was Shane Warne set out when Mark Waugh stayed in.
Well, he's on a hat-trick. The first wicket was a very good catch by short leg Gary Kirsten. Boone quipped it there, sharp and straight into the mid-drift. Boone was out for 24, and night watchman Tim May from Prince Alfred College in South Australia shuffles across in front, and he's judged plum LB. He's out first ball, and de Villiers is on a hat-trick.
Tim May shuffling forward below the knee, and that's out. Same as Shane Warne, and he was facing the new ball. Both LBW for no score. Only one ball taken up by that night watchman, and Mark Waugh has to come out and bat anyway.
So if they get another one now, with about 4 overs to go tonight, and that 117 seems a long way away. 3 for 51. Barney de Villiers.
It's got to be a good length at the stumps.
It's off the mark. It may be a 3. Mark Waugh just spraying on leg stump. They'll pick up 3, but a wonderful over by Barney de Villiers. That's now 3 for 54.
He's gone again. Mark Taylor's off. The Australian vice-captain's out of here. And this could be an absolute miracle effort. Barney de Villiers picking up his 4th wicket. An absolutely magnificent leg cutter to the left-handed batsman. Mark Taylor departs. Australia in trouble. South Africa right back in it.
Perfectly pitched off cutter there. It's gone beautifully. Just caught the edge. Mark Taylor just looked around to make sure that the keeper had taken it. Richardson had done exactly that, and Taylor didn't even bother to wait for Bill Sheehan's finger. It's 4 for 56.
You wouldn't want a better man walking to the wicket to save your country than Alan Border. 3 for 5 Australia have lost in the last 11 deliveries. Beautiful shot. Beautiful placement. Lovely timing. That ball running away towards the boundary. Batsman will complete a full 4. Again, very well run. Alan Border showing what a great player of spin he is.
4 for 63, the Australians at the close of play on the 4th evening. Taylor out for 27, Slater 1, Boone 24, and May didn't trouble anyone, certainly not de Villiers, whose bowling figures are quite remarkable there. 12 overs, 4 maidens and 4 for 22, and he's given South Africa a very, very big hope of pulling off a miracle victory in this Test match. Be a very, very interesting first session of play on the final day here at the SCG. For the moment, it's goodbye. Welcome to the highlights of the 5th and final day of this Test match between Australia and South Africa at the SCG, the second in the series, and the Australians deep in trouble when the day began. This is the way it looked. 4 for 63 with Taylor out for 27, Slater 1, Boone 24, and May a duck. Waugh is 4, it's Mark Waugh, and Alan Border 7, 4 for 63. And the South African bowling, they did a terrific job yesterday with Barney de Villiers outstanding, 12 overs, 4 maidens, and 4 for 22. Alan Donald will be a danger man on this final day. Conditions were very, very good. Temperature around about 34 degrees promised, and the pitch, it'll be very difficult so far as the batting side is concerned. Not many needed, just 54 with 6 wickets in hand, but problems for the Australians. We join Donald now. He's bowling the first over of the day. Alan Border is taking strike, and your commentators Tony Greig and Simon O'Donnell.
Donald, no doubt, knows what he's got to do. He'll be plugging away just short of a length, hoping to regain a little bit of accuracy and pace, something which has deserted him just in the last few days. He's been a little erratic. Oh, and he's bowled him. Has he? No, that's hit the stumps. Yes, it has. I thought I heard a clonk there. Border's gone. He left that one. All of a sudden was a half-hearted appeal. What a beautiful delivery that one was. It pitched just outside, well, round about off stump, held its line, and Border was absolutely amazed. Looked down there and just watched the bail go here.
This is Test cricket at its best. Alan Border, thinking he had that very well covered, was going to pass well outside off stump. Alan Donald just straightened it back. South Africans have got to be happy. Alan Border's gone for 7. He would have been the linchpin in this run chase for the Australians. 5 for 63.
So there he is, Damien Martin, back into the Test side. I don't think he would have thought that he would have been confronted with this scenario. Well bowled. He really wasn't too sure about that one. A wicket maiden for South Africa. What a start for them. 5 for 63. De Villiers has got the ball in his hand. His figure's 4 for 22. Oh, and in the air and just short of forward, short leg. That's the danger ball. That one that pops up just a little bit. That's well played. Just a little wide, slightly over pitched and wore onto it in a flash. Settle for 2. So far, all the runs scored have been in singles. It's the first time we've seen a 2 scored, which gives you some idea of the tension.
Leans into that beautifully, head over the ball, and very, very quick between the wickets. Nearly too quick, and ended up on his back.
Let's get played again. All the time in the world. 5 for 70 Australia. In the commentary box now, it's going to be Geoff Lawson and Ian Chappell.
And 2 important men there for Australia, Mark Waugh and Damien Martin. The reason why they're so important, obviously they're part of that 5 wickets in hand, but both are men who can hit a few boundaries. And in a situation like this, a few boundaries go a long way to easing the tension in the dressing room. If you can bring that target down fairly quickly, it does help to relax the dressing room a little. It's a good shot from Mark Waugh. And the South African fielding, as you would expect in this situation, they're putting in absolutely everything. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning, Ian. Just 45 required now. What a contest we have here today.
Oh, that's a good delivery from Donald. He's gone. He's ripped the Yorker in there. That was a lot quicker. And he surprised Mark Waugh. And boy, isn't that an important wicket for South Africa.
Alan Donald. See what, the pace he took off that last ball and stopped a 3 and made it into a 2. It's paid off because he's got the wicket very next delivery with a quick full delivery. Mark Waugh goes for 11, 6 for 72. What a contest.
Ian Healy, always a good man for Australia in a crisis, and he's got one on his hands at the moment. 6 for 72. Australia require 117 for victory. 45 runs to be made and just 4 wickets in hand now. And importantly for South Africa, Mark Waugh back in the pavilion. Oh, and a good bouncer from Alan Donald. Right on line, as he is so often with his bouncer.
What an absolute rip snorter to get first up. Oh, just past the gloves. Alan Donald has to pitch it in short, but really surprises Ian Healy. Just past the gloves by a centimetre or 2. He's got 2 men back for the hook as well for Ian Healy.
Yes.
Healy will continue to play his shots in this situation. That's why he's always been a valuable man in a crisis. 3 runs and a wicket in that over. It's 6 for 73. Cronje really doing a very good job as captain. Not frightened to spend a bit of time with his bowlers. Sometimes I think that's overdone, but in this situation you can understand the captain wanting to get everything absolutely right.
Just making sure everyone is exactly where he wants them. Just moved everyone a little bit square, everyone around that direction.
He's got him. He's knocked it on, attempting to guide that ball away through the offside field. So Fanie de Villiers has got his first 5-for in Test cricket.
They don't look pleased about it though. Fanie de Villiers wide of the crease, it's the off corner, he drags the fingers down. Ian Healy inside edge. We've already seen one early this over. He jammed it into the pad. That time, at the end of Ian Healy, Australia in real trouble. 7 for 73.
Shane Warne, quite a capable batsman, and importantly for Australia, he has got a few shots. He can score, and that now is becoming more and more important, because Australia have only scored 10 this morning and they've lost 3 wickets in doing it. Just outside the line, I think.
The bowler just might get into a spot of bother by appealing in that position. That's right in the middle of the wicket. Very wide on the crease. And probably just outside the line, a little bit high. Pretty close though, but let's have a look where Fanny de Villiers finishes. Let's have a look at the height. Gets Warren about the knee roll and probably outside the line. De Villiers continues on. I'd be giving a big shout as well, let me tell you. He finishes right in the middle of a wicket on a good length.
It's a rather cagey way of just doing a little bit of damage about the length you want to bowl, Jeffrey.
I see Cronje really whipping his troops up. I don't think he really has to. I'm sure they realise the situation. Heading towards a famous victory, but still on the nice edge. This game just tips slightly in South Africa's favour right now.
And Damien Martin getting the single. In fact, they may even think about 2. That's well run.
What a hurry!
He's gone. A direct hit. A direct hit, and that's got rid of Shane Warne, and everything going exactly right for the South African captain, Hansie Cronje, the man with the direct hit.
Well, this was always going to be tight if they took 2. Admittedly, it needed the perfect return. Hansie Cronje, he knows that they'll be looking for 2. Picks it up, throw on the turn, and the direct hit. Fanny de Villiers standing in a very poor spot for Bill Sheen to make that decision. The direct hit was the key to that. 8 for 75.
Well, Craig McDermott will know all about this situation. In fact, he'll probably feel a little more comfortable than he did at the Adelaide Oval last season against the West Indies. It was roughly the same number required. 42 it is today. And in fact, it was exactly the same number, 42 to win it when he came in against the West Indies. The difference in this game is that Australia have 2 wickets in hand. Craig McDermott was the number 11 in the game at the Adelaide Oval against the West Indies. West Indies finished up winning that by 1 run. Tim May and McDermott were the last 2 men in. And McDermott has decided to do the right thing. Get some boundaries and bring that tally down quickly. That's good thinking.
Alan Donald has the choice what to bowl first up, short or full. He's gone full at the stumps, certainly not a half volley. McDermott thumps it away right in that gap between cover point and extra cover. Hansie Cronje keeping that same field, man out on the leg side. He's obviously happy with the field.
Once again, McDermott goes through the offside. I think that's the gap that Cronje's got to try and block. It's good batting from McDermott. Down to 34 now.
Well, it's beaten the man who's been brought in there alongside the umpire. Take it easy too, not looking for a third. We've already had the 1 run out this morning. That was Shane Warne. 8 for 90. Now Fanny de Villiers is deep in conversation with Craig Matthews. Similar types of bowlers. Fanny de Villiers just a little quicker. And he'll be trying once again to cramp McDermott for room. Give him nothing at all outside the off stump to flail at. And that's not what he wants. It's certainly not what Hansie Cronje wants either. Lovely stroke from McDermott. Good positive shot.
Definitely what Australia wants. Craig McDermott getting this very fine down the leg side.
shot.
This is very, very sensible, positive cricket. The advantage has been with South Africa all the morning because they picked up the early wicket of Alan Border and they were able to put the shackles on the Australians. That was picked off, well, about middle and off, but a good stroke.
In the air and just out of the reach of the forward short leg. That one popped up. Well, I tell you what, there were catchets coming from everywhere, fielders coming from anywhere, but no one got close enough.
Quite amazing. That ball has bounced on McDermott. And the one thing that he's done is hit it far enough to get it out of Kirsten's reach.
He's had a go at that one and he's hit it down the ground. That's pretty well hit by McDermott. He's been the aggressor out there and he's being rewarded for it. Back for the third. It really is a fantastic effort by him. He's come out under a lot of pressure and he really has done well. Just 12 runs required. Welcome back. It's 8 for 105. Australia needing just 12 runs, 2 wickets in hand. Well, Donald now is being brought back into the attack. In the air, over the head, oh, inches away. Just bobbed over the top of extra cover there. That could so easily have gone down his throat. Look at the heads dropping in the Aussie dressing room. Brocky's chewing on his glasses.
And McDermott just got enough bat on it. That's a hell of a well-timed leap there by Andrew Hudson.
In the air and just short. And what's more, a run. Well, spare a thought for Glenn McGrath. Where do you reckon he is at the moment? So that's the story. 9 to get. Just 2 wickets in hand. De Villiers is about to continue another over. What a performance. 22 overs, 5 for 42. Look at him moving that ball around in his fingers there. Away he goes now. He'll be trying to cut it back in to McDermott, trying to get him LBW or bowl him out. Yes, he wants one, and he'll get it comfortably too. That's good running by McDermott. He really has got things under control out there. He's bowled well, and now he's batting beautifully. Good calling as well. Oh, and that's a nasty bounce for the wicketkeeper.
Yes, it's amazing how momentum swings in this game of cricket.
So there it is, 7 to get, 2 wickets in hand. I suppose you could say 1.5, although it might be a little unfair to Glenn McGrath. He's improving. Having said that, McDermott and Damien Martyn are playing very well. Got him, yes, straight to cover, that's it. Damien Martyn has gone for the drive, he's hit it straight to cover, and the South Africans are all over each other. Well, Glenn McGrath is going to have to make his way to the centre now with 10 minutes to go before lunch, and he and McDermott are going to have to score these winning runs. Here it is again.
Damien Martyn driving on the rise there and hitting it, well, not quite straight to Andrew Hudson, but a good catch. And his long vigil comes to an end. Damien Martyn had done such a good job for Australia, and now the door has opened for South Africa with McGrath having to come in and face Alan Donald. It was Donald who got rid of McGrath in the first innings, and Donald now has, well, at the moment he has 5 deliveries at Glenn McGrath. So the pendulum swings back to South Africa.
It's right off the meat of the bat and straight to the fieldsman. So that's the end of Damien Martyn. He was there for a while, and a big cheer here for Glenn McGrath. He's a bit of a favourite on this ground. He looks as white as a sheet to me. Well played, right up in the block hole. He's got one. So 9 for 111 now, and we're going to see McGrath having to face the music. And it's going to be de Villiers, no doubt, that's going to be bowling to him. Oh, got him! South Africa have got it. They've won. Straight back to him. Cotton bowled. What a game for de Villiers. He's taken the catch. McGrath pushing forward. It stopped a bit. McGrath is not moving. He's standing at the crease, so disappointed. And the South Africans are over the moon. What a victory.
Kepler Wessels has come charging out of the dressing room, as you would expect. A big smile on his face. They may not get him to go home now. And Craig McDermott, have a bit of sympathy for poor old Craig. That's 2 games now. The 1-run game at the Adelaide Oval, and this one where he's been on the losing side. But Fanie de Villiers, the South African hero, and he was well and truly aided and abetted today by Alan Donald.
Another cruel blow there for Craig McDermott, unbeaten on 29, and the Australians all out 111. Victory for South Africa by 5 runs. It's the 4th closest runs result in Test match history, and a terrific performance by the South Africans, led out there by the vice-captain Hansie Cronje. The bowling figures for South Africa: Fanie de Villiers, 23.3 overs, 8 maidens, 6 for 43. Alan Donald, 17 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 34. Shane Warne was the 10th one to go down when he was so brilliantly run out by Hansie Cronje. A great performance from the South Africans, and here now in the presentation area is Tony Greig.
The Australian Cricket Board has allocated $10,000 for this match, and a very, very happy Kepler Wessels is going to take a $6,000 cheque away. Congratulations, Kepler. I suppose the money really means nothing in terms of this great day, because this would have to be one of your great days.
Oh, absolutely. We're fairly new in Test cricket, and every victory we get, we obviously savour, and to get a win like that was sensational.
Just from a personal point of view, the sort of mind goes back to your first Test match 100 at the, I think it was the Gabba.
Yeah.
That was a huge day. But is this the big high?
Undoubtedly, and also when we beat the West Indies when I was still playing for Australia, we had a bit of a tough time and we came and beat them on this ground. But this was a wonderful performance by our players. They gutsed it out. It wasn't an easy wicket to bat on. Fanie's effort was particularly good, you know, and it's very satisfying for him, because he's done so well in one-day cricket, and to breach the gap between one-day cricket and Test cricket for him is a great day.
Well, you've had this great day now. Everyone else is going off to Adelaide. You still going home?
Yeah, it looks like it, but that's the way the game goes. So at least it's a good note to sort of go.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have enjoyed seeing you back out in Australia, and very well done to you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Kepler Wessels there, and we've got Alan Border up here as well. Alan Border, $3,000.
Yeah.
Bad luck. That was a great victory from us, really looking at it from a South African point of view.
Superb victory for them. Obviously, we're very disappointed. We knew chasing 117 was going to be tough. Just the way they bowled us in the first innings, the wicket was starting to, you know, play more difficult, I suppose. And once they got to 117, we knew we had a fight in our hands, but didn't quite go according to plan. And yeah, it's just the way it goes. It'd be nice to win one of these tight ones one of these days.
That's right. I think Craig McDermott probably felt that way more than anyone.
Well, he's probably the bloke I feel sorry for the most down the dressing room at the moment. You know, going so close last year, and you know, fantastic rearguard action last year against the West Indies, and then this year he basically got us into where we had a real sniff towards the end there, and I really do feel sorry for him. But mate, full credit to them. I mean, they just stuck to their guns from about tea time, drinks yesterday morning. The game sort of started to swing a little bit, and it is a good test of our courage, I suppose, that when you lose a game like this, it is hard to bounce back, and it will be a big test for us to see how we go through the one-days, and then obviously have another crack at them at Adelaide.
Bad luck in this one.
Thanks,
Looking forward to seeing you over in Adelaide.
Thanks, Tony.
Right, well, the man of the match, and for the man of the match, we've got $1,000 in this Baccarat Crystal Trophy, and the man who did all the damage last evening, and again this morning, we've got Finnecha Fanie himself, who's got a huge smile on his face and has had one since last evening. Congratulations. That really was a superb performance. Now, where did it all change?
Well, obviously, we were running out of time at the end. I said yesterday to the reporters, if we can only break through in the first 6-7 overs with three wickets in our hand, then obviously the boys are going to try and play it out in singles, and we're going to have so many more overs to bowl. But we break through, and a little bit a problem later on, running out of time, and we just bite the bullet. South Africans never give up. and that obviously pulled us through.
That's right, and the wicket, obviously, that you got that off-cutter going a bit because that caused a fair few problems. It looked as if you were rolling your fingers over the top of the ball and getting it to nip back a fair bit.
It always helps if you got something else to fall back on. Obviously, if the ball doesn't swing, the ball really got old at the end, and there was no chance of it swinging at all. And if you got something like that, it can help, and especially on the wicket that's breaking up a bit. It's like a quick off spin, and it works. I've seen it happen in Sri Lanka from some of the bowlers there, and it's honestly working on a slow wicket.
Well, you'll be hoping it works like that for you in Adelaide as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I would
Right,
like to see
well,
what
congratulations, a great performance by you and your side.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Right, well, that's it from down here, Richie. A couple of very happy guys, and Alan Border hoping to pull it out again in Adelaide.
Thanks, Tony. They certainly are happy, and they have every right to be. It was a wonderful win, a mark in South African cricket history. Just a reminder now of the Test match coming up down in Adelaide. That's on January 28 to February 1. Oz tickets, and I should think they will be rushed now. 131314 is the phone number, and that'll be a very, very well-attended Test match with South Africa one up in the series. Victory to Kepler Wessel's side here, skippered by Hansie Cronje in the absence of Wessels through injury. A wonderful win, and disappointment for the Australians. For the moment, from the Sydney Cricket Ground, it's goodbye.